Good afternoon. Before I get started, can I just have a show of hands? How many of you are on your way to find your life partner? Oh, it's surprising. Either you have found out or you don't want to. Okay. Either way, we have our services. If you are already married, no worries. You can have your children get registered and they can avail the services, right? Okay. So my name is Mugantan Soundarajan. Don't try to spell it out. You'll have a tough time. I'm the Senior Vice President of Technology at Matrimony.com. So Matrimony.com is a 2-decade-old organization, and it got started off as a 2-page website, one for the bride, one for the group. That's it. The fundamental philosophy of Matrimony.com goes like this. We are the pioneers in online matchmaking. Even before the internet penetration happened in India and across the world, we thought we will use the internet as a technology and platform to offer this kind of services to customers across the globe. And not only that, we are the #1 and the most trusted brand when it comes to online matchmaking. So the philosophy is like the future of a country depends on its citizens. Good citizens emerge from good parenting. Good parenting happens in a happy marriage, and we are the gateway to happy marriages, right? So our services are offered under various categories. The first one, and what we got started off, is the matchmaking service. In matchmaking service, India as a culturally deeper, marriage is a concept that lies in our blood. So the brand that offers this is the Bharat Matrimony, under which we have 15 plus regional language-based services, because people speak hundreds of languages and forget about the rest of the things. People speak Tamil, Telugu, Hindi, Marathi. So the services are offered based on the regions where the customers lie. And the second one is based on the community. Community, again, we have 350 plus communities spread out in India. So people, they want to narrow down in finding their partners within their community. Forget about the regions. And we have some specialized and personalized matchmaking services as well. If you are a high net individual, you don't want to reveal your details. So we have some anonymously, we can find out your requirements matching your, for your son or daughter. We can keep everything confidential till it gets settled. And if somebody doesn't have time to go online and then find the prospects, do some search and all that, you can offload, and we have some services called assisted service. Meaning a relationship manager will be assigned to you, and he will download all your requirements, and then he will help you out with all the possible matches and then take it forward. Recently, we took our services not only from on the matchmaking side, but marriage services as well. We want to be the one-stop shop for all your wedding services. So the first one is the matrimony photography, wherein you can avail the services from our side for any of your events, not only for wedding, but any other events as well. Matrimony Bazaar is like a marketplace, so you can avail the services anywhere from your honeymoon package to caterers, or anything related to events and wedding. The final one is a specialized service. You want to have your wedding halls, you go online, avail these services, based on your requirements. And these are the two categories of core services. One is on the matchmaking, the other one is on the wedding services. And about the company, we have 4,000 plus associates working for us. We do have 140 plus retail outlets where people can go and get registered for their sons and daughters, or even for them, and then they can avail the services on the matchmaking or the marriage services. And we do have 4 million plus active customers as on date. So how about the daily activities, right? So being an online platform, the customers do perform various kind of activities. So we do get 20K kind of a new registrations happening on a day. Of course, we do have some exits as well. People become inactive over a period of time. But then we get about 20,000 new users registration, and the number of profiles that viewed on a given day is about 16 million, and people exchange more than 1 million plus messages on a day. And people upload. People have the options to upload 20 plus images of them. So you do have 800,000 photos, and out of which unique photos are some 80,000. And then the overall login on any given day is about 3.5 million, and the unique is about 1.6 million. Though it is spread out throughout the day, what happens is we do have a peak period on any given day, because people either because they are working, they don't have time. The peak hours is little, as per the IST, it is about 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time to 12 midnight, meaning that there is an overlap of people from US and other European countries also log in at that time. So this is on the customer side of activities, which translates into the application side. Like we do get about 250 million web requests to the Apache and Nginx side of things. There is a 1.5 billion kind of a DB queries to the MySQL database, and we use Sphinx as a search platform, which gets about 600 million requests. And we do send 6.5 million push notifications on any given day, and then 28 million emails to the customers on their matches. So how about Redis? What does Redis have to do with matrimony, right? So Redis used to be one of the technology in our overall tech stack, and then we were using the community edition of Redis with the master-slave kind of an architecture. So most of the user activities, when the users log in, we do have some data as part of our caching, where users will have their daily recommendation, what is the match of the day for them, what are the promotions in our PW architecture, how many profiles have been viewed by them, how many matches have been discovered, what are the messages that they have exchanged, all the stuff, how many people they have shortlisted, they have blocked, they have ignored. So all those user related activities, the information was stored in the Redis. But what are the challenges? As you see, we are using memcached as well, and we face some eviction issues. The keys got evicted. So when it's a surprise for the users when the keys are not there. And then you do have the master slave of the Redis, meaning that a couple of times we have had some serious issues. So the master goes down, you have to manually bring up the slave promote it as a master, meaning the end user experience goes for a toss. And it's more like a single point of failure in our overall system. We do have MySQL, which is the underlying database for the whole ecosystem, but then what are the challenges with that? It works on a master-slave architecture. You have a master with multiple slaves, but then the reads are pointed to the slaves, the writes go to the master. But then here and there, you get into slave delay kind of issues, meaning that the data synchronization is not there, meaning you have an inconsistent data shown to the user. Sphinx, as a search technology, it works fine, but then it's not scalable. It's not scaling up. So you have, the only way is to scale out the number of instances that you have. But again, even in that case, you have to rebuild the indexes, meaning that you don't have the real-time data available in the platform. So this warranted that we have some reliable solutions in place, and that's when we looked at the Redis Enterprise with a cluster kind of an architecture, meaning that we will have a highly available systems in place, and when the users log in, it's a seamless process. They are in a position to find out all the information that is needed at the time of logging in. And this also helped us. We had some 40 plus memcached instances, and since Redis offers memcached functionality as well within it, so we merged. So we did away with the memcached instances, meaning we just have one Redis cluster with all the Redis keys as well as the memcached pointed onto that. We still continue to have the MySQL Sphinx as well. So what does Redis Enterprise gives us as an advantage? It's a fail-safe, continuously available. Ever since we migrated to the Redis Enterprise, it's a zero downtime till date. So meaning that it gives us, the end user experience is very much there, and it's scalable as well, right? So every instance, is meant for about 25,000 operations per second, and the graphs, it's like we are reaching just 8K per second at this time. So meaning that we still have buffer to make use of the 3 instances, the 3-node cluster, and 24/7 operations. That is very, very important, right? So so far we have discussed about what is there for developers to make use of Redis, and our friends from Freshworks and BookMyShow talked about. It's also equally important that your systems are always up and running so that you can provide the seamless services to the end users. So you get the consistent and improved end user experience with Redis Enterprise. And the next stage for us, right, the technology evolves, right? So we have to keep pace with the technology, and what is in it, ever since we adopted Redis Enterprise, we were looking into migrating the legacy application towards a microservices-based architecture, because we are not, ours is not a cloud-native applications. We are there for the 2 decades, right? So we have to make a small change every now and then, keep pace with the technology. So we looked at how we can leverage Redis streams. But prior to that, we want to do some benchmark, because Kafka also has the streaming functionality. So we established some criteria. So what are the requirements is that we have to optimize the search platform, because for us, the end users, as they log into the site, they do some keyword search, full text search also. So it has to support the search, and it has to support the re-architecture of our application for the microservices-based system. And we need to have effective queuing system. We cannot afford to miss the data, the user, or the actions that they perform on the site. So meaning that we have to effectively have a queue in place and then use it for any improved lookup queries or do some analytics. So this was the criteria. And then we did set up a Kafka and Redis. This is the test platform that we had. And we ran a benchmark just for 5 minutes and then 10 minutes later. So this is just a sample code. So we did run about 2,500 requests per second to both the Kafka as well as the Redis streams. So these are the actions, these are the user activities that normally happens on our site. So we have online status, how many people are currently online, what is their status, how many of them are male search, how many females are doing the search, how many profiles are viewed, shortlisted. These are all. So we split the 2,500 requests across these categories. And these are the results. So based on the benchmark that we did, you can see Kafka has about, if you see the number of samples, it's about 74% more than the Kafka was able to do that. If you look at the throughput, again, there is a 72.5% improvement over Kafka. So this is for our applications. That's where, of course, Kafka has its own use cases that well. But for our application, this is a dramatic improvement, right? This is significant for us when it comes to performance. And this is how we want to take Redis streams as part of our microservices re-architecture and as a queuing platform. So we will have the Redis Enterprise, and we will go with the multiple APIs. We will have all those APIs, and then the Redis streams, we will go with multiple publishers and subscribers. So what will happen is all those we have this view profile API, communications API, search API. So meaning that every API will have its own set of publishers and consumer groups, and they will be in a position to do whatever the relevant actions. We can do some analytics, we can do some queuing, and then analyzing logs. We discussed about fraud detection kind of stuff. So in our system also, it is very, very important that we are in a position to track if some malicious activity is happening. So this is going to be the right way of doing things for us. And then we have the Solar nodes. The major advantage that we see with Redis in streams adopting this way is also that as part of queuing functionality, we will have all those activities done by the users captured. We can look into that, and then even if we want to do some maintenance activity at the bottom layer, that the Solar or something like that, we can go ahead and do that because we have all the logs captured and is available for any time viewing and taking the actions. So what are the next steps? We have already seen what is the way forward from Redis with the graph and search, AI, and recommendations. So we will go with that and leverage all those additional services. And yes, matrimony.com on Redis streams, we have found the ideal match. And that's it. Thank you very much.